I demanded a hearing for the very next day. Unfortunately, it took the committee 10 days to get to this hearing. In those 10 long days, as was predictable and as I predicted, my family and my name have been totally and permanently destroyed by vicious and false additional accusations.
So if you've been watching the coverage of the Kavanaugh nomination over the past 10 days or so, especially in other channels, but not exclusively, you might have noticed something a little strange about the coverage. Repeatedly, reporters and on-air analysts have interjected the question of race into this story. And that's odd because it's not a racial story. Everyone involved is the same color. And yet, again and again, you see people use this story as a pretext for denouncing an entire race of people. We're going to remind you something you probably already knew. That's the definition of racism, and yet it's everywhere.
Women across this nation should be outraged at what these white men senators are doing to this woman.
This is all gross strategizing from 11 old white men.
It's a white man strategy that is politically dumb, in my opinion.
These people in Congress right now, in that Senate Judiciary Committee, these white men, old, by the way, are not protecting women. They're protecting a man who is probably guilty.
So why are these morons pushing race conflict on the country when, again, the story has nothing to do with race? And why is nobody saying anything about it? Those are all questions that we should ponder going forward. In the meantime, though, over at CNN, Jeff Toobin, normally an objective reporter, went further than anyone. He said that demands for due process for Judge Kavanaugh show that this entire country, you and me and everyone, is evil.
Maybe this country is a lot more racist and sexist than we thought. Maybe a lot of people find this allegation preposterous.
Well, Jeffrey,
maybe a lot of people think, who won the election?
Yeah, no,
the guy the guy from the Access Hollywood tape won the election.
So if you don't believe the allegation made by a white woman against a white man, you're a racist. What the hell is going on? Tammy Bruce, a radio show host, president of Independent Women's Voice, and a wise person. She joins us tonight to unravel the complexity of this world.
Right. Look, we've spent clearly, 150 years at least, arguing that your complexion does not equate to who you are, what your morals are, how smart you are, what your intentions are, what you do in life. Hundreds of thousands of us died fighting to make sure that our skin color would not matter, that we rejected that notion. And now in the 21st century, the Democrats, who have nothing to argue with, who have been rejected on the issues of principles, on the foundation of legislation, on ideas, they have failed. They've damaged this country. We're bringing it back, and what they're trying to do is appeal to the worst part of us. They want individuals to look to the worst parts of themselves, to think awful things about other people, about Tucker, the very personal aspects of who we are, our gender, our race, our ethnicity, maybe ultimately our age, certainly gender. And this is the everything with Kavanaugh, certainly, and maybe that's why the liberals have been inspired to go even further, has been about the worst in what they want from people, arguing for divisions, looking for these emotional buttons to have people certainly be upset, to not trust their neighbor or even themselves, to really look at America again as being evil. This now is what the Democrats have become. We saw it on display today. We've seen it destroy. I don't think it's destroyed Judge Kavanaugh yet. Obviously, Dr. Ford's life is changed forever. We all deserve better, and what we will not do is go back to that time in this country where gender and race defined who you were.
Exactly.
We have fought to change this.
Amen. Let's not put up with this garbage. Seriously.
Exactly.
Let's speak out against it. Don't let them divide this country along tribal lines.
Exactly.
Which is what they do, even as they accuse their opponents of doing that. It's always projection. Tammy, that's so nicely put. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Nice seeing you.
Our coverage of the Brett Kavanaugh